Hey there soldiers, welcome back. Oh, so what's the next part on our list that I have to do? Let's have a look. I'm going to load up my Trello board. And it's telling me walkway 1 is the next part. Cool. I've got 2 parts completed now, which is not doing too badly considering. So what I'm going to do is go and open. Yeah, go on then. And I'm going to open my walkway just here. Very simple little object, this one. That's it basically. And the idea for this is, I think, let's have a look at the shape of it. Messy. I'm going to have some bricks basically there. I'm going to have to remove some parts because I don't need all of it doing. So, if I go over here, I'm going to start culling the model a bit. By a bit I mean culling the model an awful lot. Okay. Now we can see that by culling the model I've in fact deleted a load of the model as well, because I do this a lot without realising it. But low poly models, very easy to fix. There we go. There's another one, look. This next time I shall be slightly more cautious and not just start hammering my model to death and back. Now remember, we're only using a couple of basic textures here, so you really want to give some thought to what you're going to colour this thing with and how you're going to do it. Now I may add a third texture, I'm undecided as of yet. I shall see. That can go out. There we go, and that leaves us with this. Control S. That way it's saved. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is basically have it split slightly. So this lot here is all going to be stone, yeah, above here, and then below this, I'm going to have these as bricks and these as bricks, which means having the inside part here, which I've deleted, also as bricks. I should imagine. I don't know. I'll see. I'll see how it comes along. This is quite a complicated shape to unwrap, but not so complicated as to be impossible. So that's good. And we can share the UV space for these, which is a help. So, unwrap, UVW, move that over there, make it smaller, open it. Okay, and remove our crap, because we always end up with a ton of crap we don't want. Okay, and what I'm going to do is start off with that. Very simple. So there, just move it to there, and then when it's done, I'm going to grab it and move it over here. Now this one. Okay, so we've got these here. See? Now what I'm going to do is just click Mirror Selected Subobjects. Like that. Now if I get this one again, turn that off. Grab this one again, and you'll notice they're kind of sitting on top of each other. It's helpful. It means they're sharing the same space. It's not quite exact, but it's exact enough for me to be happy. Now this one. And then this one. And again, just flip it like that. And now these four, with their supports, are all done. Oops, wrong way. So now I can go here and just put them down out of the way, just there. Because I suspect I'm going to have the rest kind of stretching down that part. Right, now I want to go in here and take this part here. And I think before I do, I'll move this out of the way. That way I can make my job a little easier. Making my job easier is something I always enjoy. Okay, and then just do this. And then I'm going to come around. Do this again. And now they both share the same UV space again. It's a cunning trick, and hopefully one that won't be too noticeable. I'll put that up there. Then put this down here. Okay, and now I'll move both these off here. So I'm working only in this part. And this is our central walkway. So what I'm going to do is take just this part here and here. Okay, it's all the way up to there basically. And then if I just come down, top down, like that, move it over to there, and we can see, if I just scale it in like this, how this is going to work. Thought as much. So there's our middle walkway, just there. Click grow, and then there's our side walls just there, like that. Just going to move this now over here, because I still haven't decided how I'm going to pack these yet. Okay, now I'm going to get this part, which is our arch. Like that. And just do that. Then turn it around. Same as before. Okay, and that just goes in there like that. Again, they're more or less sharing the same kind of object space. I can tidy it up if I want to. Put that there. Okay, now we've got these parts here, which unless I'm mistaken, well, two of these are the bottom parts of this. Well, these two are here and here. They're not particularly important to me at all at the moment, so I'll get one. Then I'll get the other. Then I'll just grab them and make them smaller. Okay, just stick them in there on the very bottom. Okay, let's zoom back in. And I think we have, yep, these top parts here. So I can do one like that. And then another one. And now I've got both together. Interestingly, the edges don't quite line up. So we can make them line up. Just select this one. Hold down Shift. And move it. There we are. Then grab all these parts here. Just do that. And I can put them inside here, like that. Just have slightly less detail in the front-facing part if I prefer. I could even overlap them if I want, if I'm using a particularly repeatable pattern in my textures. And I'm going to move this now into there. Didn't quite get everything there, so I'll go to select by polygon instead. There we go. I mean, really you want to balance it out so that the ones that are bigger are the ones that are going to be seen more, but how you do that really is up to you. Now then, we have these pieces here, which you can see. Actually, I can do that and take that away at the same time, so that's excellent. So we'll have that one just there, and I'm going to click play on our map. And then I'm going to do it again. Pardon me. And then click play on our map. And as you can see, these two overlap each other really well. I'll just stick it in the side there. Okay, just try and get the parts. Like I say, you can label them inside Photoshop if you're passing it to someone else and you can't remember what they are. In our case, I mean, we're not really putting a whole load of detail, stuff onto these anyway. I think what I'll do is just reduce that one a little bit. There we go. And as for this one, if I just select here, that's kind of the inside of the doors except for the top. So put that there, like so. Okay, now what have we got left? Well, we've got these, which is that and that. You can just see them. So what I can do is just projection map like so, and what it's done is it's basically spread these out, top piece, side pieces and so on. I can then hold shift and just drag them over the top of each other, and then just basically reapportion these bits a little bit. So that, for example, should come down a bit more like that, and just make these more even. Like so. Okay, and what's left over here? Well, we have this and this, which looks suspiciously like the bottom. So I'll just select all the parts here that make up the bottom. There we go. And we can see that they're all basically just stored there. Okay, and if I do a planar, there you go. Just move that over to there. And now we're left with this piece, which is from up there. Interesting, because it should be over here, and isn't. And what's the other piece? There and there. Well, are these parts? Nope, these parts aren't mapped yet either. So I'll just do one of those. Grab that. And what I said, it's quick and dirty as a method of doing it. However, we can't complain if it works. Well, we can if we get fired, but you know, I won't get fired. It's me I'm doing this for anyway. Right, just adjust that a bit more, and let's look at that. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep, good. Make it a bit thinner and longer. Just slide it in here. And then take this one, put it there. It's all about kind of learning how to put these pieces together, really, and trying to get them to look okay. Still have this, which is that piece. Which should be over here and isn't, so I'm just going to do it again. It annoys me when pieces don't go where they're supposed to. Okay, and then just make this a bit smaller. I'm going to get both of them at once though, otherwise it doesn't work. I could even overlap it with this if I wanted to. I think I'll stick it in here actually, there's slightly more space. There we are. So at the minute it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It should be 9 parts in total. And we're going to get this giant H here, which makes up the underside of our model. Just going to squish it to the right shape. And then start moving it. And if I can, I just want to pop that there like that. Give it a bit more width. There we are. And that works out. So now I can just grab this, stick it in here, and basically scale it all until it's in. There we go. Okay, so that gives us our simple UV template that we can now basically come out with. Do a little bit more tweaks there. There we go. Now, incidentally, you can actually click this, which is your pack button. Okay, and it'll attempt to pack your UVs for you, but it doesn't do a fab job, to be honest. I prefer doing it that way. Right then. See? We pack together. Or that one. There's all sorts of options, but don't use them. Right then, so I'm just going to close this. Do a Control S, because that's saved. And I forgot to actually render out my thing, so I'll just do a render UVW template. There it is there, and save it as. Well, we're in walkway 1 already, so that'll be walkway underscore UV template. There's a JPEG. Gone. Alright. And now I can close that, and that, and that. Control S again. Just make sure it's saved. Over to Photoshop. And then we have our base wall and our grey stone. File, open, and go to our walkway, which is here. We have our one map for it already. So if we go to our wand tool, Control Shift I, create ourselves a new layer. I'm going to hide the original layer for the moment while we put this kind of crazy thing together. Okay then, so we can see more or less what each part is and where it's supposed to be. We know that, for instance, this here is our side of our walkway, whilst everything else isn't. So what I'd like to do really is kind of consider making this part here and most of the other parts concrete, having the sides of this done in stone. I think it'll look quite nice that way. So I'm going to basically take this part here and move it to the next layer. Oops. So just being as careful as I can with it. Now I don't want the up parts actually, so I'll just deselect that again. I just want these parts. These are the only bits that are going to be brick in the entire model. Okay, Control X, Control V. Put it back where it was. And I'm going to check that's where it's supposed to be. And it isn't. So I'll change the opacity here. There, that looks better. We can see it's not quite in the right place yet, so I'll just shift it up a little bit. There. And now it's in the right place. Change the opacity for this one now. And I'm going to change the names. So, layer properties, and this is our stone layer, or base stone layer. This is our brick layer. Okay, and we'll go and get our wall first. Control A, Control C, obviously. Go to our brick layer and just dump it in, and then do a clipping mask. And just try and come up with something that looks nice. And that's quite cool. Nice big stones making it up. Okay, now the rest of it then, if I go to my grey stone, I can make as much of this as I need. I'll just hide that one for the minute. And the good thing is that I can then tweak this if I need to, once it's on the model. See what it looks like and decide what I want to change. Normally I may not use the whole of my texture covered in stone, but this time I am, obviously. There we go. Control E. And build ourselves a mask. Okay, and that does that. Quite nice. Okay, now if I go over here and just file, save as, and I'll call this my basic texture for my walkway. Like that. What I can then do is go over to my max and just hit M, and then I can do some tweaking if I need to. So let's see, diffuse, bitmap, wall UVW template, no, wall basic texture, yes. Hang on, no, this is the wall, this isn't the right one at all. Hang on the walkway. Okay, and just show shaded and apply. Okay, not quite what I'm looking for, although it has its charms, obviously. I think I'd like to change the insides of this as well. In fact, I know more than think. And also, I can't help but notice my brick texture isn't appearing. Ah, right, it's because I've got it hidden. Control S. There it is there. It's not bad. I'm just wondering if I could have perhaps done something slightly better. I might try. Let's have a look. And that's the problem with a really basic thing like this, you know, it's exactly how it looks. Let's just go down here. I'll turn on this again. Make myself a new layer just here. Make myself a new layer just here, as I was saying. Going to hide that and hide this. And where's my new layer? Damn it. There it is. And hide that. It's going to do a fill here. Okay, and that should allow me to take this, Control A, and I'm going to Control C, copy that entire layer there, and then go away you. Put it into there. I didn't actually want to create a group, but I'll stick it there anyway. Okay then, and now what I can do is basically create a clipping mask here, and I can selectively choose which items I'm going to have clipped. Turn on my stone layer. There, I've got them all on now. So for example, if I go to my stone layer, I can remove this piece here and then see how it would look in max. That's actually slightly better. However, I'll have to do these inside parts too, and they may not match up quite so nicely, because they won't match up quite so nicely, simply because I have to match up that part. Let's have a look and see what we can do. I think it's this bit here. Soon find out. Yes, it is, and as you can see, they're not actually lined up here, like even remotely, which is a bit of a pain. What I could do is literally adjust my UVs here on the fly. See, because there it is, because unfortunately they're just too big. Turn that to 0. I love being able to move those around. I think, to be honest, it's going to be easier just changing this to grey rather than remapping this all to get them to fit each other properly, although it is tempting to go back and do it anyway. Decisions, eh? No, I think I'll just do it the old-fashioned way and change these back to concrete. It's not an old-fashioned way, it's just cheating, but you know. Oh no. There we go. Yeah, I'm not using you yet, go away. Control S. There, and that's gone back. Although we can change this underside here to be stone if we want to. Although I quite like having that effect that we have here. I don't know, it's decision again, isn't it? Yeah, look, I'm not using you at the minute. Go on with you. Let's have a look and see what it looks like if I take some of this away. Take this one off. Don't think it's going to match up particularly well. Although it does look like it's made out of flags, which is kind of nice, because then I can put flags on the inside of it as well. Let's have a look. Where's the inside part? That must be this bit here. So for example, if I just zoom in, because I don't want to accidentally chip the texture. I can then do that. A bit less. One of the great problems of using just a simple pair of textures. But on the other hand, it does allow you to kind of do a bit of thinking. Okay, that's not bad. And we can actually create some nice kind of boundary areas here anyway, quite easily. So what I could do is get my black and just draw in so I'll just get my wand tool, Control Shift I, and now I can actually draw into my model just using my paintbrush. I can change the shape of my paintbrush as well, which is kind of handy here. So let's see what we've got. Don't want calligraphic. Natural, no. Special effects, no. Faux finish, perhaps. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so that'll allow me to then basically chip into this, just here. So if I go to my stone layer, I should be able to start basically drawing in on this. I might have to, let's have a look. Yeah, I might need to move layer 3 and layer 2. Let's just remove that a minute. Yeah, bugger off. Just change its type, I think, back to a basic brush. Yeah, I could do. Let's find something that's going to work for me. Bugger off you. And I'm going to work on my stone layer. So you can see I'm just drawing my stone layer back in. Change my opacity to maximum. And basically just come in like this. Just draw it in on the edges here like this. And here. And here. Because what we can do is literally make it look as if some of the kind of, whatever the hell this stuff would be called, is chipping away slightly. To reveal brick underneath or whatever. Just do it here as well. I think the stone layer definitely needs to go on top. Everything's stone. There we go. Just make sure that it's up there so I can see it properly. Just under there. And there. Make sure I'm drawn on the correct layer again. Often I don't. Just gives us a chance to kind of grey out some of this. And once we've thrown the dirt in as well, it'll look significantly different. Okay. Just like that. And we can also obviously delete some of our stone layer if we want to. Just by using the same tool, but erase. Just reduce the size of my eraser. You can see it kind of chip away at it. Again, like that. Change my opacity. Change my shape to something slightly more messy, for example. And I could just, you know, pull out parts like this. The only problem with that is it's going to be kind of appearing on all four posts, so you've got to be really sure that's what you want to do before you do it. Maybe down here too. You know, just chipping at the edges a bit. There we go. Control S and drop back to our max file. There we go. And you can see now that the brick's visible in places, which is cool. And that looks much better than it did. Okay, I'm happy with that. So back to Photoshop. And we're going to save this as... And this will be walkway basic texture. Well, what do you called it? Walkway basic texture, haven't I? Yeah, go on, bugger off. Okay, the next thing I need to do is make my diffuse textures and things from this. So, File, Save As, Walkway, Diffuse, Target, done. Okay, and if I then fire up Nodo, here we go, NDO. I'm still not updating it yet. I can do it, it's just it's download and I'm recording. So. Okay, presets. Let me see, stone wall from the active document. And off it goes. Oh, I wonder if there's any coffee left in this cup. No, there isn't. That's a shame. It won't take long. I can pull any tweaks that I feel necessary, obviously, once it's finished. Boop, boop, boop. Looking out the window. Oh, I don't have a window. Never mind, I'll pretend I do. It's nearly finished putting it all together. Okay, a little bit shiny in places. But we should be able to actually mess around with this a little bit. There we go, smooth bumps. Not so much. More chiseled grains and some nice deep cracks. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this to occlusion and a specular from my active document, so normal. Off you go, buddy. And now wait patiently again. Let's build itself a quick displacement map. There we go. Specular's done. Occlusion done. Perfect. So I can now save as walkway ambient. saving it in the wrong format. Do it again. Target. Specular, save it as target. And normal. As a target. They're the 4 basic maps we need. Obviously, if we're going to fire up our DDO tool. Still got my basic texture here, obviously. So, going to fire up DDO next. There we go. And what I need to do is get my modules here, Automation Hub. I prefer doing everything automated because they know way more about doing this than I do. Teehee. Preload those. And then go at my environmental presets. Shush dog. Right, let's find one that works for me. It's the one that I used last time, I believe, which was over the top wear. And grey shades, and just mash the old DDO button. Again, I'm going to pause it while it does its stuff. Good. Okay, so DDO has finished doing its wondrous stuff. We've got all our maps and everything, so I can just export all. And it'll export it to our default output path. So if we just nip over here quickly, you can see it doing that if we go into walkway. It should be doing that in walkway, but I suspect it's just saved it in a completely different area. Rather annoyingly. Oh, I see, I loaded up completely the wrong materials and textures. Nope. Me. Okay, so let's do it again using this one. Modules. You probably saw that I did that. You big old bunch of gits. I don't need DDO tool, I'll just delete that. Walkway. That and that. Okay, just generate. Pause it again. Did the wrong one. There we go. So now it should have generated the correct map, and we should actually have something that looks modularly decent. Yeah, that's better. It's nice because it looks really good, which is cool. Okay, and what I want to do is just export all. So if I click the export all button, I'll drag this over here, and you can see it generates my diffuse, specular, height, and the other one, normal. Okay, so I've got my different maps in here, and if I go over to here in 3ds Max, that's our basic unexciting walkway, and I'll just swap the texture over now for a much more exciting looking walkway. There we go. So hopefully you can see that is an improvement, and with some clever lighting that'll look like the bomb. Okay, so Control S, time to export this walkway. So export, make sure it's selected because I just want to export selected, and I'm going to call it walkway, obviously. Film box format, done, and that's it. So again, nice easy tutorial, a little bit of shaking things up. See you in the next one.